You're listening to the Chronicles of Living podcast, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. Now let's talk. Greetings, my visionary dreamers. How is everybody doing on Hump Day? You can do it Wednesday. You can do it Wednesday. Yeah, you need to hear that in the middle of the week. And if it's kind of rainy where I am right now. I don't know what it's doing where you are. But, the rain can have its good and its bad. I mean, of course, I guess, you know what? Maybe I should start the topic off with that. First of all, to those who don't know me, this is adionne-your-dream-pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from the world, saving you from drowning in yourself. And I know that might not sound right the way I'm saying it, but it's true. I just want to save you from drowning in yourself. I mean, what I mean by that is that, join me. Y'all know I gotta invite people. What I mean by when I say drowning in yourself, it's like we're all like this big pool of feelings, emotions, thoughts, things of that nature. Every day when you wake up in the morning, you will have a thought. It could be good or bad. You might be waking up from a dream or a nightmare, and that can kind of structure your day. If it's bad and you don't alter and catch it right away, it can kind of create your day, So, yeah, this is the Chronicles of Livin. This is Adionne, your dream pusher, your lifeguard. And today's topic is you are a part of something much bigger than yourself. And I was just talking about the rain. And for example, some people like the rain, some people don't. But the rain is big because the rain does a lot for the world. It does a lot for nature. It does a lot for us. I mean, think about the rain. You might not like, you just came out the hairdresser, your hair tossed, and you like, oh my God, it's raining. You don't have an umbrella. You look at the rain like, this is bad. It just ruined my day. Oh my gosh, I'm going somewhere. I don't have time to go fix my hair, whatever, Or, you're walking outside, you're not driving in a car, and you suited up, you're on your way to a meeting, now you're soaking wet. You might view the rain as something bad. But no, the rain is all good. And for those who might have, say, back pain, arthritis, some type of pain in their body, they view the rain as a bad thing too, because for some reason when it rains, it intensifies your pain in your body. I can testify because I hurt my arm and I'm still trying to figure out what day I did. But I thought it was something that was going to go away, and it's just been ongoing. I'm getting ready to get it taken care of. Thank God. My job, they're looking out for me. And I got a chance to understand what people mean by when they say, when it rains, I'm in more pain and stuff like that, because my arm has been really hurting me. But I'm such a soldier. I deal with the pain, I could deal with it. But yeah, I understand what they mean, because it's just been extra these couple days. But nevertheless, the rain is good. And when I say that, you are a part of something much bigger than yourself, it's just like the rain, for example. While we can view it as a bad thing, as an inconvenience at times, if we didn't have rain, we wouldn't have drinking water. We wouldn't have food. We wouldn't have trees. We wouldn't have, all of these things that rain allows us to have. Without the rain, we couldn't have no fruit, vegetables, and all the crops. The farmers, what would they do? How would we grow? How would we take a shower? When you really, really look at certain things in life, we take certain things for granted. We look at it as a small thing. We look at it as an inconvenience, but really, we should be happy when it rains. And I know I'm on the rain. That just came to mind because it's raining out here. So I guess I think it's a good way to start viewing, a good point to start from, and getting you to understand that you yourself, you're much, you got a big part in this time, space, and reality. And, to those of y'all who are just tuning in for the first time, this podcast is about everyday people doing everyday thing, living the everyday life. I keep it all the way real. I'm just real straightforward with things. Some people might like the podcast, some people don't, but I always say everything is not for everybody. So hopefully if you're tuned in, you're tapped on, as my girl Abraham Hicks would say, one of the people I listen to, I'm learning from. And you're not listening to this podcast if I'm not talking on a really proper side of things to you, but you're listening to the message. That is the point of the podcast. Listen to the message. See if it resonates with you or maybe with somebody else in your life, your family, or whatever. But I'm sure that the things that I talk about, even if you take one little paragraph, one little sentence, one little word from it, and you're open-minded, I'm sure you can apply it in some type of way to your life. So I'm positive that a lot of us have not looked at the rain to this extent, because I don't think I have myself until I just said all of this, but it's true. You think about it, certain countries, they don't have rain, and over those countries, it barely rains, and they're dry over there. They can't grow certain food that we take for granted, so their nutrition is not as great as ours, where we can just get rain, certain places, just like over in California, they have a lot of wildfires. If it's too dry and it doesn't rain, just the sun alone can just start fires, and if it's a lot of trees and all that, it can just catch and go, and now it's a lot of damage that has to be repaired. So the rain for us is a big thing. And I know some of y'all just coming on like, okay, that's not the title. It's not about rain. No, but I need y'all to understand. I try to talk about other things so that it can open you up to the topic at hand. So it can just get you right there. Sometimes you got to talk about something else to make you view the actual topic in a bigger light. So what I'm saying about you are a part of something bigger than yourself. A lot of us have found our purpose in life, and a lot of us are still searching. A lot of us have gifts and talents and visions, and we're moving forward with it, and we're trying, and regardless of the failure, we still get back up and try it another way. And some of us are paralyzed, scared to even attempt to try the things that is put on our heart to do. But we got to understand that, we're here on assignment. We're here to learn, to grow as we go. We're here to collect information for those who are coming after us. For generations, the new generations. You think about how far we have came since thousands and thousands of years ago. Look at us now. We have roads, we have buildings. Sometimes when I'm driving, I'm like, and now that I live pretty much in the mountains, when I'm driving, I'm pretty much looking down at houses and all of this stuff. And I was telling my son when he was here last week, and I'm like, look how amazing. This is so amazing. Oh my gosh. Am I recording? Oh my goodness. Really? Oh, I am. Okay. I'm sorry. It looked like my phone is kind of crazy, so I'm praying that we didn't go off for a while. But anyway, I was telling my son, look at how amazing. Look at the mountains. It's just like, how did they even figure out how to construct these roads? Like, how did they get this bridge? And that was people, individual, moving on what information was fed to them through their spirit, through their, mindset, whatever God has placed on their hearts. People look at their positions as small if they don't have the big titles, but they don't understand that the person pouring the tar is just as important as the person that made the plan. We need each other in order to evolve into a bigger, how I want to say, just to keep existing. You think about all the other countries that's, they don't even have shoes to wear on their feet. Like, I mean, there was someone that actually had the vision of shoes. They took it from just the sole and the little string in between to actual covering. It's just, you got to start thinking like, we all need to start moving on our talents and our gifts. We all need to believe that we can do it. We can, because we all individually have missions to make this world a better place for the next generation and the next generation. You think about, we've all made so-called mistakes, and if y'all been listening to me, I don't believe in mistakes. I believe in, okay, that just didn't work that way. We just got to find a different way. I believe in thinking outside the box. Because if you don't think like that and you think, oh, mistake, then that will make you feel like you're a failure and then you won't move forward. No, it's just you just have to find a different way to attack whatever it is that you're creating, whatever the goal that you're meeting, because this is the thing. When you don't learn from whatever, so-called mistake or your failure, then that's when you're going to keep repeating that cycle. You're going to, you continue to get with the same type of people and abusive or whatever it is, you keep on falling in the same trap. And unless you learn what it is that you have to learn from that, first off, you're not going to grow. And second off, you're going to repeat it. So if you're wondering why you keep on, getting fired, or you keep on meeting the wrong person, the same type of guy, the same type of girl, lady, woman, whatever, she's a fatal attraction or whatever, you keep attracting that same a person that just like to drink a lot or drugs or whatever. You keep attracting that same type of person or people around you. There is something for you to learn. And until you learn it, you're going to repeat it. And you have to learn it so that you can share your experience with the next person. That is what we are here to do when I say assignments. We're here to share our experiences so that we can all grow as a world together. Not just one person growing and learning and getting it, but we all need to continue to share with each other. Just like with this podcast, I'm trying to share with you, and I use my own stories to try to, get you to see certain things that I've learned, and my way of attacking the problem or issue or whatever might not be your way, but the point is this: I'm sharing it to let you see that there is a way. I figured out a way, so you can figure out a way. That is the point of the podcast and me talking about my certain situations that I've overcame and certain situations that I'm still, working on. Because as I keep telling y'all, this podcast is not for me to just talk to y'all. This podcast, every time I'm talking to myself as well. So I'm learning and growing as I'm going as well. So if we don't look at it as if you're enough, and I keep telling y'all, no matter who tells you, who spoke something in your life and said that you're not enough, or you're dumb, or you're this, that, and you're less than, you better stop listening to them, because you wouldn't be here if you wasn't enough. You would not be here. You are enough, and you have an assignment, and I don't care if you think that just being, I'm not going to say just, because that's not, I shouldn't even include that word in the conversation, but being a stay-at-home mom, some people say, oh, that's not a job. No, hell yeah, it's a job. That's a that's a big job, okay? I know. Even though I was a stay-at-home, I know that just the whole working and trying to make it happen, that was a lot in itself. So even staying at home, that means that you got to be on the alert. You don't get no break, no daycare, it's more work. You know what I'm saying? At least when you work somewhere else outside of the house, you get a little break, because the kid might be a daycare with a babysitter. You get a little bit of break. But no, this is like a 24-hour thing. So, you have to have your mindset on point all the time for the kids. You got to be alert all the time. So I'm just saying, like, people, they just take certain things for granted. And I just want y'all to stop taking your life for granted and thinking that if you're not making a whole bunch of money, or living in a big house, or driving a big car, or whatever like that, that you're less than. Nobody is less than. Nobody. Everybody plays their part in this time-space reality. Even people that's caught up, that might be caught up, drugs, prostitution, whatever. They are still playing their part. Now, their part might not be what they want to play at the time, but it's something that they obviously have to learn out of that situation in order for them to come through it. It's something that while they're doing it, they're actually teaching others through that. Because it's like people, if a kid see somebody that's, on drugs or whatever like that, they get a chance to see this is what it does to you. This is what it could do to you. And at that point, they get a chance to make a decision before they even try to go down that path. So that person, as bad as it sounds, they're still teaching. They're still, even in the midst of their crisis, they're still teaching, And then on the other hand, a person that's, on drugs or whatever, they get to bring out the best in other people sometimes. They get to bring out other people's gifts and talents. People that, all the people that work in the crisis center, all the people that volunteer to help people get off drugs. That compassion. They get to bring out compassion. And sometimes people don't understand the compassion that they have until they're struck with a family member that's bound by being in an abusive relationship or something that's bad. And they love this person so much. So now it triggers another part of you that you didn't even know existed. Patience, maybe. Patience, understanding, compassion. And it just kind of enhances certain parts of you that you didn't even really know that you had. There are some people that have people in their family that go through, so whether it be a person that was in a bad accident and now they're handicapped, next thing you know, they decide that they want to work in that field to help other people that's handicapped, to help other people that's, bound by a bad situation. And this is what happens in life. It's unfortunate situations sometimes can bring out the best in our loved ones. And then sometimes it can bring out the worst. Sometimes it can shine a light on how much how much compassion you don't have in your life. And why don't you? So now you need to get to the root of that problem. Why is it that you don't have compassion for this person? What is it? Why you don't have compassion? It's something that happened in your life that allows you to not have compassion. So when we start thinking on the terms of our lives are much bigger. Like we all have a big part to play in here. We all contribute to the growth of this world, of the generations to come. You think about even things like when you look at today's medicine and today's food, and you think about how many people are getting sick from the food and, and the medication, and you look at those doggone commercials, may cause suicidal thoughts, may break down your lungs, may all of this crazy side effects. Like, why do I want to take that medicine? What is the purpose? Why do I want to get that vaccine? What is the purpose of it if it's only going to break down my body more? But then you think about, you go back to your ancestors, you go back to think about, okay, wait a minute. They might have lived a shorter span of life, but then if you go way back, they lived a longer span of life. Why? So then now you learning something from the past generation, that what they did was they ate from the land. They healed themselves from the herbs, as it says in the Bible. Eat from the land. You heal yourself from the herbs. And those people that before we had medicine, before we, and this is not nothing, against any doctors that might be listening and stuff like that. But when you think about the natural alternatives, that still heal people today. So it's like we go back, we have history, we have, people have passed on, but yet because of their contribution and because they acted on the things that was put on their heart to maybe write a book on herbs or write a book on natural healing, we have options. We have options. They did their they gave their contribution to this time-space reality, or to their time-space reality. And now that we're in this time-space reality, we could go back to the archive and pull something out from a person that understood the importance of knowing that, they're bigger. That is a bigger picture than themselves. That there are people that's going to come behind them that's going to need to utilize their gifts, their talents, their visions that was instilled in them. And this is what I'm telling y'all. You can't sleep on, and you can't be fearful of taking those steps and going after what it is on your heart to do. You can't look at it as a small thing and, nobody will miss out. No. You think about, Martin Luther King or, Nelson Mandela and all of that. You think about the things that they went through. But we're all benefiting from it. Nelson Mandela stayed in prison all of those years, 20-something years. Was it, I think, 28 years, something like that. And then came out and he still was the president. He still led his, his country and stuff like that. And they still benefited. But he stayed true to what was on his heart to do. No matter what the repercussions was. No matter what, he went through. When God places a vision and a dream or gift in your heart, it's only you that can stop you from making it come true. I'm going to repeat that. Only you can stop you from making your dreams come true. If that man sat in prison for all of those years and he went in pretty much trying to fight for rights and stuff like that, and after all those years came right out and pretty much picked up where he left off, that goes to show you that if you're willing to go through the fire, then you can have what it is that's on your heart to do. Complete your mission. And some of our missions are a little bit, rocky road, than others. Some missions, cause for a lot of pain. I mean, you think about Jesus. I mean, his mission it caused for a lot of pain. But look at what happened. Look at what we got out of it. For those who believe in Jesus Christ, and even if you don't believe in Jesus Christ and you read the Bible, if you just look at the stories in it and you think about what's going on in the world today, it's so many things you could pinpoint that actually happened, that actually became a reality. And even if you just view the Bible as something motivational, just the stories in it is enough to teach you a lot of lessons if you really read the stories in them and you look at the fact that there was some bad stuff going on. But then there were so many lessons to learn from them to help you to understand that you need to forgive. You don't need to hold on to anger, because anger is that's just bitterness, and all that's going to do is just cripple you. That's going to cause disease in your body. When you don't let go of certain things, I don't know if you realize it or not, but it causes disease in your body. You don't just get diseases out of nowhere. There are things that you need to deal with. You need to get to the root of the problem to find out. No amount of surgery, no amount of medication is going to get to the root of the problem. You have to get to the root of the problem and figure out what's going on. It could be something that's just as simple as changing your doggone diet. And sometimes you can look at your diet and say, why am I eating this way? Why do I overeat? Why do I, you know what I'm saying? There is something that is connected to everything that we do. Every thought that we have. It's just like the other day, the show was about, are your thoughts your own? A lot of times, certain things are embedded in us to cause us to, just have this disbelief. And cause us to have fear, and not allow us to move forward with the things that we were sent here to do, So we got to start really looking at that. We got to start understanding, like, if you have kids, you want this world to be better for them. So don't look at it as, oh, I'm only one person. And what can I do? Because see, if they looked at it like if Martin Luther King, if Nelson Mandela and all of those, great people looked at it that same way, then we wouldn't be benefited. Look at how many people benefited from one person. One person. I think about some of the people that I listen to. I listen to, Abraham Hicks, and I just started listening to a Dorothy Cannon, and I listened to Tony Robbins, and a lot of different Leslie Brown, like Les Brown. It's so many people I listen to. If I come across, I will give everybody a fair chance. There's people, books I read, and Napoleon Hill, like, it's just wide range. And some of the people that I listen to, and some of the things that I study, like right now I'm studying frequencies, sound frequencies, music frequencies, and what it actually does to you, how sound at certain frequencies can really heal your body, can really just wipe away certain bad things within you. It's deep. It's really deep how they use frequencies, sound frequencies, to control certain people's minds. I was looking at a documentary, and they was talking about how when Hitler did what he did, they had the soldiers listen to a certain sound frequency for a while to pretty much control their minds, and so that they would go forth with what happened. You know what I mean? That's some deep stuff. And I don't know why. I come across certain things, whether it be a book, a video, or audio, whatever, and my spirit will just be like, look, listen to that, read this, and I just do, and from it, it just opens up so much more, and I'm like, wow. And then I get to understand why we exist, why we're here, why, I'm always on a research path, always learning. And as I tell you, When you think that you know it all, that's the day you're going to stop growing. I don't care how old you are. There's always more for you to learn. I don't care if you master your skill set. There's always more for you to learn, because everything is changing from day to day. You think about the doggone computers and the cell phones and all the upgrades and all of this stuff. You think about years and years ago. I don't even know when the first computer, I think I was probably like, I don't know, I was probably in my 20s, probably late 20s, the first computer I had, and how heavy it was compared to now, how sophisticated, and how I was just dealing with one of my clients, and she had a Mac, I don't know, Mac notebook, one of them, Mac Air, and it's 2 pounds, as opposed to this big old heavy computer back years ago. But that's all because people took it upon themselves to move on their visions and their dreams, to go ahead and keep figuring out and keep trying to figure out a better way for this same thing to work, a better way for us to utilize this certain thing. You know, it's like God gives a lot of us the same ideas, but all of us are not going to come up with the same results. All of us are not going to attack the idea in the same way. And that's why you think about fast food, even though it's bad for you, but you think about it. You know, you got McDonald's. On the same strip, you can have McDonald's, Burger King. All of them are really doing the same thing in a different way. And so it's just your preference of what type of fast food you like that you're going to go ahead. And they all are making money. You know? Just like you go in a vitamin store, you got a ton of vitamins to pick from. You know? But each vitamin was created by a different company. By different people that thought that said, okay, you know what? This is the way we need to put this certain type of vitamin together. This is going to help the person's health more. You get what I'm saying? So don't ever think that, you know, your gift and your talent is just, oh, it's average, it's normal. No, it's not. Because all of us bring something different to the table. No matter, you think about it, how many singers are there? How many actors? How many athletes? But certain athletes, certain singers, certain musicians catch your attention. How many talk shows are on TV? Talk shows. They're all called talk shows. But some of you might like Ellen. Some of you might like Steve Harvey. Some of you, everybody has a difference in what they're attracted to. And that is the reason why you got to understand that, you're bigger. Like this. It's bigger than yourself. You're a part of something bigger than yourself. So you have to contribute what it is that God placed on you to do. And it might not be to the extent that you want to contribute, but I guarantee you this, whatever it is that you contribute, as long as you go for it and as long as you do contribute, then that is the way it's supposed to be. That is obviously the way it was supposed to go. If you're putting your all into it, that's all that matters. You just put your all into it. And at least you know that you tried. And then you go and you try a different way. Or you enhance what you already created or what you're already doing. You go back and you research. You look at, what's already been done. You know what I mean? And you write down your notes and you say, okay, it's already been done this way. What do I like about the way this person did it? What don't I like about the way this person did it? And then from there, you build your way. You get what I'm saying? This is how you think about the first car. We didn't ever have a car. What we had, a horse and buggy. You know what I'm saying? But when I think the first car was Ford. I believe the first automobile was Ford, I believe. But when he, had that and came up with the whole assembly line situation, he was able to contribute more to the world. He did it a different way, you know. So it's very important that we all view ourselves as enough and as important, because we all are important in our own way. Never let people tell you that you're worth nothing, that you don't matter, that, you know, your ideas and your gifts, that they're not, you know, they're not worth nothing. It is, because if it wasn't, God wouldn't have placed it on you. Now, you might go out there and think you can sing, and you really can't, but you might be better in, you know, running track. You know what I'm saying? I say sharpen the thing that come naturally to you first, and then work at the thing that doesn't come naturally. You know, sometimes we want to be something that's really not our makeup. You got to understand who you are. What's your makeup? What is it that you're comfortable with doing? What are you good at? I've always been a talkative person. I mean, in school, on my report card, I was a honor roll student. But what did they put on there? She's a good student, but she talks a lot. Yeah, I'm always getting in trouble for talking. So guess what? I got a podcast. I'm talking to you now. You know what I mean? That's my strong suit right there, and I embraced it. And I said, you know what? This is my strong suit. What can I do with it to help the world? How can I add to the world? The fact that I just like to talk a lot. And here I am. This is what I mean. Like, yeah, everybody can talk. But can everybody hold a conversation and for this length of time? To the point that I got to stop myself? You know? It's not a lot of talking to people out here. Some people just, you know, they just want to be silent or whatever. You know, it's just like I told one of my girlfriends. She's very organized, and that's a gift. A lot of people not organized. A lot of people, you go over their houses and it's like, what the hell? What is going on here? You know? A lot of people don't, you know, time manage themselves well. Time management is a skill. When you know how to balance your life out, balance your time out, that's a skill. People will pay money for you to help them manage their time. That's not a physical thing. It is, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? But it's big. It's needed. You know? You think about it. All of these companies need somebody that's good at time management. They need a person to keep them organized and keep everything on, or a bookkeeper and all of that type of stuff. You know? You got to understand that whatever it is that you're naturally good at, people keep calling you for. You know, people always call me for it when they're down. You know, I've always been an encourager. I've always been that person. They'll call me and run their ideas by me because they know that I'm going to push them. They know that I'm going to, you know, they'll ask me, how would you attack this? They know I'm going to analyze it for them. You know, but they're going to go away with the fact that I'm telling them, look, you need to do it. You need to do it. You might need to do a little more research or whatever, but you need to go ahead and do it. And sometimes that's all they need. It's just for somebody just to say, no, yeah, go ahead. That's a good idea. I think you should do that. Some people just need that. Some people just need a hug. You could be a hugger. I remember watching one show, and that's what this girl job was. She was a hugger. She would go, I don't know how they made the point, whatever, but this girl was actually getting paid to hug people. That's some deep stuff. That goes to show you where we are in this world today. Like, where's the affection? You know, you got these cell phones now, and I was telling my son, I was like, Dad, what is y'all generation going through? I mean, y'all relationship just be pretty much on a text, Facebook, that whole bit. The physical, what happened to the actually getting on a telephone and talking and, you know, things of that nature. But this is what they was born into. So that's their way of doing things versus the way, you know, we had pay phones and, you know, we had to, The house phone. Now people don't even buy house phones more so because they have a cell phone, and that cell phone becomes their house phone, which is kind of bad because if emergency, you do need to have a house phone. But I'm just saying all of this to say that you have to start getting in that mindset that you can do it. You could do whatever it is that you're put here to do. You just have to start getting away from people and stop doing things that's keeping you from doing what it is that you are put here to do. And when I say things, whatever bad habits you might have, that's getting in the way. Of course, when you see people falling off, that means that the universe is pretty much telling you, okay, come on, it's time for you to do what you need to do. I done move some folk out of your way. You need to go ahead. You have no excuses now. They out the way. And that's what happened to me. People just all of a sudden just started disappearing just out of nowhere. Like they, and I was listening to Dolores Cannon today. And I mean, if you ever listen to her, if you're not ready, then don't listen to her because she deep. But I'm in that deep realm right now, okay? I'm really into the whole spirit and understanding what it just all means. What is a spirit? What is a soul? What is the difference? What is, you know what I'm saying? My subconscious, how much control I have. I'm into that, okay? So I try not to go too deep on y'all because some of y'all might be like, this girl crazy. Yeah. So I try to keep it real simple. Real simple. But, basically, I did lose my train of thought real quick. But anyway, it's just, yeah, you gotta realize that when your spirit is nudging at you, that's what it was. So yeah, she kind of confirmed that because I had thought about that a while ago. Like, wow, I haven't heard from this person in a while. I haven't, whatever. And even Joe Osteen, I was listening to one day. This is a while back, but he said something like, sometimes you can have friends for a very long time, and all of a sudden you just outgrow them. You might be growing at a faster pace than they are, and but it's okay. It's okay. Because you can still have love for them from afar. That don't mean that you can't speak to them or whatever. It just means that it's time for you to move on. And, don't allow, friendships to stunt your growth. If you're moving at a faster rate, God might have something else for them to do. He has assignments for all of us. And, you just got to go with the flow. You can't be looking back. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. You can't be afraid to move faster than everyone else. You can't. That is what keep a lot of people from pursuing their dreams. They try to stay in the same. It's just like this. They said when you got a fish tank, and you get a small fish tank when you first get the fish, if you keep that fish in that same fish tank, that fish will not grow. But if you take that same fish and you upgrade that fish tank every couple years, watch the fish grow. The fish will grow according to its environment. And that's how we are as people, as individuals. We will only grow according to our environment. So if we stay in the same environment, year after year after year, around the same people year after year after year, how can you grow? You got to try new things. You got to meet new people. It's okay. It's okay. And if people got real love for you, they will understand. They will understand. And if they don't understand, it's not for you to worry about. Your mission and your assignment is your mission and your assignment. We all have one. So I try my best to keep this 45 minutes, even though I do have more time. I just try to keep it to a point that, you stay engaged and not just say, okay, she talking too much or whatever. But yeah, just some food for thought, y'all. We have some big things to do, y'all. You got to get at it. And you're never too old. You're never too old. You're never too old. Don't believe that. I've learned some good lessons for some people that was over 70. And so that means that they were doing their assignment. They were, teaching me some things. That's an assignment right there. Sharing their experiences with me. And I learned a lot from their conversation. So they were doing what they were supposed to do by sharing the experience, sharing the information so that I can continue to grow and pass the baton to other people that I'm like you. I'm sharing experiences with you. I'm sharing information with you that I've learned. I'm just passing the baton. And that is all of our jobs, to continue to pass the baton so that we will all collectively do what it is we were put here to do, to continue evolving and making this world a better place for our kids, grandkids, great-grandkids. Making sure we leave it and that we contribute something before we leave this earth. Before we leave this world, before we leave this time, space, reality, however you want to look at it. So, with all that being said, I'm going to go now. And I hope you enjoyed this podcast. And I just want to thank everybody. I'm just looking at the podcast grow. I'm looking at all the people that's downloading and the people and it's just so many different platforms that the podcast is on now. And so for each platform, I'm getting a nice amount of people that's listening, that's downloading. And I just always pray before each podcast for God to give me words of wisdom and to give me valuable words to say to you guys that y'all can utilize in your own lives and to help y'all grow as you go, So I just thank you and just go ahead and I'm working on a website right now. I'm upgrading. So if you go to Chronicles-of-Livin right now, you're going to see just the podcast, but just feel free, listen to the shows that you missed or whatever like that. But it'll be back up soon. Just working and upgrading, doing some upgrading and changing some things around, okay? For you guys' enjoyment. But if you don't know, Google Chronicles of Living podcast show. Google Chronicles of Living and you'll see whatever it is you need to see. Click on whatever to get at me. Make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Catch me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Although y'all know I got to do better with my social media. But if I see more numbers, then I will get on it more. And I just love you guys. I really do. I love y'all. And y'all have a great rest of the week. You can do it. You can do it. You can do anything you want. Just believe in yourself. Don't listen to everybody else. Believe in yourself. Take it one day at a time. And you'll see. You'll see. You can do it. I love you guys. Peace. Thank you for listening to Chronicles of Living, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. And if you are pursuing your dreams, I'm proud of you. Because the best part of life is when you decide to live. To keep up with us, please visit chronicles-of-livin.com. Until next time, this is Adionne, your dream pusher. I love you guys.